Live from Liverpool, we don't need to talk about ghosts with Kevin Eustace.
Hello, you lovely, lovely people. This is a standard. We don't need to talk about ghosts. I said standard then because you said the word standard and I felt the need to say standard.
You shouldn't have said standard.
I shouldn't have said standard, should I?
Because if anything, the standard podcast is your ghost podcast, not the we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
So to confirm, this is not the standard
This
episode.
is not the standard episode. We're not talking... We're talking about weird stuff, but we're not talking about ghosts.
No, but this isn't your typical we need to talk about ghosts podcast. This is an extra under the we don't need to talk about ghosts umbrella, which we're doing during these stressful times as just a little bit of chatter.
Yes. As I've said, there's going to be a new episode coming shortly. Well, not shortly, coming soon. Called We Don't Need to Talk About... called We Need to Talk About Ghosts Dark, which is going to replace... the Don't Need to Talk About Ghosts episodes twice a month.
You're not going to call it We Dark Need to Talk About Ghosts?
No, because it's getting bloody confusing now.
We need to talk about dark?
We need to talk about bloody new names for shows. So what will happen probably from the week after next is these We Don'ts are going to go to twice monthly and alternate weeks will be a dark episode. So if you've got a story which you think is darker than the devil's bumhole, then you need to send it in to contact@talkaboutghosts. And just put
unnecessarily crude, wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. You just need to put in the title potential dark episode.
So the dark ones will be like without any your waffle or anything.
Yeah.
Won't they? They'll just be you telling the scary story.
Yes,
Is that right?
Indeed they will. Yeah, I'm
Maybe
hoping
a bit of atmosphere. You're going to do like sound effects and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm also they're going to also be interspersed. Was that a dork? A dork?
A door creaking.
A dork creaking,
dork
like
creaking.
you dork.
Yes, creaking around the house.
A dork reeking. Hopefully, I'm also going to have guests on telling their stories, like because I think you can't get it better than from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Maybe we should get a horse on to tell a story.
Imagine that, Mr. Dead. That was actually a character on the Fast Show. So what we have got is this month's copy of 14 Times, and it's always a nice jump-off point for like topics to discuss. And the key feature in this month's magazine is the Mandela Effect.
You love the Mandela Effect.
I don't love the Mandela Effect.
That reminds me, wasn't there a film about the Mandela Effect that we wanted to watch and we never did?
Or was there?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think there was, yeah, you're
we'll
quite
have to
right.
take that out.
I think it was called... Oh, no, I was going to make a crap joke, but I couldn't even think of a punchline. So basically, the Mandela Effect, for those who don't know, and I'm pretty sure you all know, because we're all a bit freaky who listen to this, aren't we? And I count myself in that. I don't count Becca in it. She's looking at me and saying, "Hey, I'm not freaky." You are a bit. The Mandela...
Freaky is the right word.
Well, the Mandela Effect is that a lot of people remember... When Nelson Mandela died, they remembered him dying previously, so they were like, he's already dead? What are you on about?
Yeah, a lot of people could remember him dying when he hadn't died.
Yeah, and that's why it's known as the Mandela Effect, because there's a lot of other things that people misremember, and it is misremembering. Although,
But it's like a collective misremembering, isn't it?
yes, like you're not on your own. Yeah, in case you don't know what collective means, you're not on your own. So it's a great article within there, but we're just going to touch on some of the ones which are pretty obvious. So, for example, there's a thing in America. They might be over here too, called the Berenstain Bears, or the Berenstain Bears. However, everybody remembers them as the Bernstein Bears. It says here, do you remember the Berenstain Bears? This American children's book has been running since it was created in 1962 and is now carried on by the writer's son. However, there are many people who insist they always knew the series as the Berenstain Bears, as in Frankenstein or Einstein, not Stain. The misunderstanding is so prevalent that if you type Berenstain Bears into Google, the top question offered is, why did Berenstain Bears become Berenstain Bears?
Oh, okay.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Another very common one is the Monopoly Man, isn't it?
Monopoly Man, Mr. Moneybags.
Yeah. Who a lot of people remember as having a monocle.
Yeah, but he
No,
doesn't.
Monopoly Man, top hat, monocle.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's never had a monocle.
Apparently he's never had a monocle.
That's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. How about...
I would have said he had a monocle.
I would have said he had a monocle too, yeah. In fact, I can see an advert now where he opens his eyes in shock and the monocle falls out.
Really?
Yeah. How about Warner Brothers cartoons?
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd, etc.
Yeah.
We've all grown up watching these Looney Tunes episodes on telly or DVD.
Yeah.
Except they're not and never have been Looney Tunes, as in Toons. They've been always Looney Tunes.
Yeah, no, I knew that.
Tunes. I haven't, because I can absolutely see a pair of eyes shooting out in the word tunes.
Maybe you can see the pair of eyes shooting out in the word loony.
No, I'm in the right there. So this is the Mandela Effect, and it's absolutely fascinating. There's some other ones here. The fact the Ford Motor Company car logo now features a little twirl on the bar that crosses the F. Many swear it wasn't there before. But take a look, and it's been there since 1912. Interesting. The obvious other famous one, the Wicked Witch in Disney says, what does she say when she looks in the mirror?
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
No, she doesn't. The actual phrase she says is magic mirror on the wall. That's in the film. And it's actually... that's in the film. It is actually mirror, mirror in the Brothers Grimm fairy tale. That's
maybe
interesting.
That's where it comes from.
Well, but we all know from the film, don't we?
Yeah, but obviously... people have known mirror, mirror, and it's been said, hasn't it? So at least it comes from somewhere. It's not being completely made up.
All right.
Unlike Humpty Dumpty, where does it say that Humpty Dumpty was an egg?
That's excellent, yeah. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall.
Yeah. All the king's horses
and all the king's men pointed and shouted, look at that egg.
Couldn't pull Humpty together again.
Couldn't put Humpty
together.
Say he's an egg. Doesn't say he's an egg, does it?
No. Yeah, everyone thinks he's an egg.
Wow.
Imagine just being presumed to be an egg.
Crikey.
When you're like just a person. Like, why does everyone think I'm an egg? What a weird thing to
I wonder
think.
if I went onto Facebook and put, just fell off a wall, I'm in a million bits, Becca can't put them back together, if everyone would think, oh, Kev's an egg.
Maybe.
We'll never know. So here's another one as well. You know Kit Kats?
Yes.
Fancy a break? Fancy a Kit Kat? Or have a break, have a Kit Kat, whatever. Maybe. So Kit Kat, how does it look like? Describe the font. Describe that wrapper to me. The words Kit Kat.
Red wrapper with white writing in a circle, and it's italic, but it's not it slopes the other way, doesn't it?
Okay. And what did it say?
Kit Kat.
And how, if you were typing that out, how would you do it to make it look identical to what you see in your head?
K-I-T, K-A-T.
Anything else? Like a hyphen?
Yeah.
Where's the hyphen?
Well, after Kit and before Cat. Kit Kat.
You're wrong. There's never been a hyphen in between Kit and Cat.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. But we all remember that there is. No, there hasn't been.
Yeah, a white line.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is... I was a bit too old for this thing, but do you remember a guy called Sinbad? He was a black American... I think he was just a comedian, I'm not sure. But he was in a film called Shazam.
No, I don't know.
Well, he wasn't in a film called Shazam, so there.
Right, okay.
Doesn't really work if you don't know about it, does it?
No.
How about what colour leg is? What colour is C-3PO's leg?
Which one's C-3PO?
He's not the little one. He's the tall one who goes, "Oh my god, I can't believe how camp I am for a robot."
Right. Okay. Isn't he like metally, like light gold?
He is, but his leg's silver.
What, his leg's a different colour?
One leg's silver. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have known that.
No, I wouldn't know either. And obviously, the other star one is.
I mean, is it that everyone doesn't remember that? Is
Yeah.
it just that anyone doesn't know that? Because that would be fair enough not to know what colour is. What
So there's the Star one. So the Star Wars two famous ones is, one is Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I am your father." Mm-hmm. Except he never actually said that.
Yeah, it doesn't say it.
He says, "No, I am your father." Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Sherlock Holmes never actually said "elementary," my dear Watson.
Didn't he?
No.
Well, where the frig have we just delved that up from?
I don't know. He might say "elementary" and he might say "Watson" at some point, but he doesn't say them together.
What if there's a full stop? So does he say like that would be elementary? My dear Watson, would you put the kettle on?
I don't know. I haven't combed the books for
You should comb.
example. And you'll be upset by this, but
Will I?
yeah,
It's a bold statement.
but Descartes doesn't actually say in the Cogito, "I think, therefore I am."
You were right. How did you know? And I am disappointed about that because I've got it fucking tattooed on me. But
No, you've got Cogito ergo sum tattooed on you.
I've got Cogito ergo sum tattooed on me, which I got flirting with you, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm literally marked for life due to flirting with you.
If you come back with another tattoo, I'll be raging.
Does anyone ever know the story of this? I don't know whether we do.
You didn't get that, did you?
Yeah, because it means I fancy someone else.
Yeah.
So, well, it might be you again. I might just I still fancy her. I was going to say I might refancy her. So basically, when I started flirting with Becca, I was convinced, no, not convinced, this is a bit of a lie, but I was a little bit convinced, like 70% convinced, that the phone I had at the time, which was a Samsung Galaxy Wave, I'd also at the time just read up a lot about Hugh Everett's multiverse theory, many worlds theory. And Hugh Everett stated that whenever a measurement is taken or a decision is made, the world splits into two different ways. So I became a bit fascinated with that and tried this little experiment with that Samsung Galaxy Wave. That meant anytime I took a photograph, I, in essence, took a measurement, so therefore that timeline split in two. And what I was thinking is that I could then will myself onto the better side of that split. So that, for example, if I was going in for a job interview, I could go outside and take a photograph and will myself to be on the side of the world split where I got the job. And I was trying to explain this to Becca and basically was saying, because I think it, I can do it.
Yeah, it was like you were thinking I will think it, so it will be. And
because I think it, so it will be. So this started over a drunken chat. Becca telling me about Descartes.
Yeah, and how what you were saying wasn't Descartes.
And and you were saying like, you know,
because basically your argument it was that I think and therefore I am in this reality. Like,
I think it and therefore I am in this reality.
I was like, that's not what it means. And I tried to explain.
You tried to explain what it was, and then to try and impress her, I went and got Kajito Ego Sun tattooed on my chest. Mm-hmm. Still wasn't going out with each other at that point, was we?
No, and I lent you the book, the Kajito book, tonight,
which you
which you didn't read, and then you allowed it to be binned.
Yeah, I don't know why my dad put it in the bin.
I was literally, who bins a book? Who sees a book and puts it in the bin? How is that the outcome?
Hysterically as well, that was around the same time when you first came to my dad's house where I lived at the time, didn't you?
Yeah.
Now, I must say, in the area of Liverpool that I live in, Huyton, we have a bad rep, Huytonians. It's very unfounded, but, you know, there's a certain demographic who let the side down, I think.
Yeah.
But there is a certain reputation that goes along with that. And at the time, my dad was having the house refurbished, so we had the carpet up. There was wallpaper off thing. It was like a proper scabby looking living room. And then my dad decided that because he's like this. My dad decided what he'd do is he'd rip the carpet up, peel the wallpaper off, and then go on holiday and do the rest when he came back.
Who does that?
But my dad does that.
So I don't know why he chose then to invite me around for the first time.
So Becca came around and I was like, oh, we're halfway through getting the place done up.
Which is traditionally what people say when the place is a tip. Like it's almost a cliche. It's so well known of like, oh, you've just caught us in the middle of decorating. You go around 6 months later and it's exactly the same. Like, you know, when the house is like rotten.
So you thought
that's what people say. So I was like, oh right, yeah, I'm sure you did. Because I was thinking, who starts stripping a wall and then goes on holiday? Like, why would anyone want to be greeted with that when they come home? Like this giant job.
My dad, that's what he does. But not only, but also is what made it a little bit weird is that for some reason, well, here's the reason. In fact, at the time, my dad also had out. This was like summer. My dad also had out a few Christmas ornaments on the hearth because his little grandchild liked to play with them, so he just left them out. But Becca has just come into this scabby looking smack den. And there's Christmas ornaments out in the middle of June or something. She must have been like
wallpaper peeling off the walls.
Yeah, but this isn't good.
Yeah.
And then
my book was binned.
Then you threw the book out,
Yeah. I mean, who bins a book? I'll stand by that one. Who bins a book?
Yeah, and also my dad used to have like a bowl of fruit out in the living room, and that freaked you out, didn't it?
No, it didn't freak me out. You said what's not supposed to be in this living room, and I was thinking,
well,
those wall peeling shavings for a start.
Yeah, no, that was it. Because that was what made me laugh, because I meant as in like the Christmas decorations on the hearth.
But I hadn't even spotted them. So I was looking around like, the fruit.
The fruit bowl.
I was like, why wouldn't the fruit be out?
Why wouldn't we have fruit?
I was like, well, because people usually keep fruit in the kitchen because it's food. And he was like, oh, yeah.
No, it was a fruit bowl. Anyway, and they were, you know, it wasn't...
we quickly realised it was a dangerous game to play. So
it was a dangerous game to play, What shouldn't be in this living room? Fucking hell, she went through about 8 things before getting the Christmas ornaments. Anyway, and that's a story of when we got together.
So you can see, I'm sure, you can imagine I just couldn't resist. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So one theory, anyway, about Mandela Effect it's if you just look at the thing which is the true part, we can assume that everybody's just misremembering things. Such as Forrest Gump never says life is like a box of chocolates.
Does he?
No.
Does he? I thought you said my mother always said. Or
It's not life is like a box of chocolates. Well, what's the thing? In fact, now I'm remembering that it is. Let me put Mandela Effect Forrest Gump. Why isn't it coming up? Hold on. Wait there.
In the background here, while you're doing that, Come Dine With Me is on the TV. We've got it on mute, obviously, because we're doing this. We're not really watching it. But this guy has just put egg in a lasagna.
Why?
I don't know. I can't hear. But yeah, I don't know why would you do
that? Well, anyway, this page has got a load more on, so
egg.
I'll just go through some more of these. Let's see if you knew any of these. So, Sex in the City.
Yeah.
It's called Sex and the City.
Mm-hmm.
Febreze.
Yeah.
How many E's in Febreze?
So, Febreze.
No, it's only ever been one E. Febreze.
Febreze?
Yeah, Febreze.
Go away.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one. Oh, no, you'll know this one. There's no T in Skechers, as in the footwear.
Right, yeah. I do get confused with that sometimes, so when I'm
I do too,
I often put a T in.
There's another one. The portrait of Henry VIII. What food does he have in his hand?
I don't think he has any in the face.
He doesn't, you're right, yeah, but people remember a turkey leg.
Well, I mean, people associate a turkey leg with Henry VIII, don't they?
Yeah. Pikachu, the Pokemon.
Yeah.
His tail, what colour is it?
Yellow or black?
Well, it's just yellow, but people remember it as being yellow and black.
Oh.
Silver leg, we've covered that one.
I mean, I feel like if people just didn't notice that this gold robot had a silver leg, that would be acceptable. It's not quite the same as misremembering.
Okay, so yeah, life is like a box of chocolates, never said.
What is that?
Forrest Gump actually said, if you listen closely, life was like a box of chocolates.
Oh, okay.
Not is. So, hello, Clarice. Yeah?
Yeah.
He never says it.
Bet he does.
No, he doesn't. This is the one that really got me, though. Because now, right, okay. We are the champions of the world. I'm going to go on for a bit here. Okay. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. Dun, dun, dun,
I don't think it says we are the champions of the world at the beginning. It says we are the champions.
Okay, my friend.
Yeah.
Okay. We are the champions, no time for losers, for we are the champions.
Dun dun.
And then what?
Of the world?
No. It doesn't say of the world.
What do you mean?
It doesn't say of the world at the end of We Are the Champions.
What does it say?
It doesn't say anything. Never has.
Oh, you mean at the very end?
The very end. Everyone knows it in their head. This is why it's the Mandela Effect. I was going, we are the champions, dun, dun, of the world.
Yeah.
No. Never happens.
You sure?
It never happened.
I feel like we need to play it.
Maybe we will.
Can we not play it because it'll get picked up?
Yeah, it will get picked up, so we can't.
Okay. We'll all just have to do this ourselves after. Some
people remember Patrick Swayze recovering and not dying. That's weird. I think they might be thinking of ghosts. So anyway, you get the gist. But apart from the obvious one where everyone's just misremembering these things. So similarly, like with, I would believe the Queen one is definitely weird because I definitely remember it going, of the world, as does everybody.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it too. But there are people that say it's all down to CERN, you know, the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
So there's a theory that if the world ceased to exist due to being sucked into a tiny black hole created at CERN, which could happen, it's theoretically possible, we would slot into a universe which was just like a string's length to the side of one that we're currently in.
Why would you slot into that? Why wouldn't you just die, but that other one's going anyway? So we would never know about it.
Don't know. This is just one of the theories. And it means that there would be minute, subtle changes within that universe. So it'd be more or less identical. The easiest way to describe it is, think of the multiverse as like the pages in an infinitely large book. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, the page next to the page next to it, or the page next to our page, is more or less identical, except for different full stops and commas, and maybe the odd different letter, right? And the next page, so that's slightly different again, slightly different again. So page 1 to page 1,000 are completely different.
Yeah.
But if you move just one page along, you wouldn't notice any difference really if you wasn't paying attention. But you would notice things. So, for example, when you're looking at things like Leicester City winning the Premier League at odds of like 9,000 to 1.
Yeah.
When you look at Trump being president.
When you look at Australia being on fire.
Being on fire, followed by a pandemic, followed by, all these sorts of things. So even apparently... So it says here, the most extreme... Hold on. CERN, according to CERN's own website, right?
Yeah.
It says, one way of revealing extra dimensions would be through the production of microscopic black holes. If micro black holes do appear in the collisions created by LHC, the Large Hadron Collider, they would disintegrate rapidly, creating events. And the most extreme theory is that the world as we knew it actually ended in 2012 when the Higgs boson was uncovered. Now you'd say, what stupid idiots would think that? Well, the late Stephen Hawking, for one. He said the God particle found by CERN could destroy the entire universe. He said the very high energy levels necessary to prove the existence of the Higgs boson could lead to a catastrophic vacuum decay, which in turn would cause all of space and time to collapse, thereby destroying the universe. Interesting, eh? And then, of course, there's the other theory is that we're living in the simulation, which Elon Musk believes, and that comes down to a thing called base reality. So the idea, not base reality, sorry, that comes into it, but it's called what's it called? There's not the infinity. You'll have to help me out here, guys. I forgot what it's called, but it's called something and it basically means when technology has reached its absolute limit.
Right.
So now when you reach that point, it's because we're advancing, we think about 100 years ago, planes were just out and everyone was going, hey, look at this, hey, planes, hey. And there was no computers, there was nothing like that. And we're advancing at such leaps and bounds. Eventually, we're going to be able to create a program which is intelligent enough that we can simulate a life on there, the organics of life. So the theory is that there's a much more advanced version of us that have started a program that we're in.
Well, this is a mean computer game. It's like someone horrible playing The Sims, if that's the case.
Exactly.
Because it was just going to part at the minute.
But this is it. This is exactly what they're saying. So now this idea has got traction and weight because very, very clever people such as Elon Musk and people like that believe that we're in a simulation for this very reason, is that if you say that, if you extrapolate it and say that we're going to get intelligent enough to create that simulation, right? If you take that as fact, which it possibly, arguably is going to be factual that we can do that, right? Then that simulation, if it's left to evolve, will eventually become clever enough to create the program within the program.
Yeah.
So therefore, if they take all this as fact, which, the way it's progressing, it probably is fact, the chances of us being in base reality, which is the original one, is infinitesimally small.
I think I've got that word you were after.
What was it?
Singularity.
The singularity. Well done, yes. The singularity. So it's infinitesimally small that we're in the first reality that's going to create the program. It's much more likely it's much more likely that we're in one of the programs.
Okay, it's almost the equivalent to people thinking that the universe revolves around the Earth because you just think these things out of, like, why would you think that you're the special one, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But in our particular program, if you like, that's why people are now assuming, people who believe in the simulation theory are now believing that someone's kind of took their eye off the game. Or someone's tweaked the code a bit, so that things like Leicester winning the league, Trump getting into power, they're kind of like, let's see what happens. Let's see if we can just tweak this and this happens. Because right now, like I got a game over the last couple of weeks called Civilization 6, right? Now on that, you can literally go to the menu. You can either play a normal game where the world just develops, you evolve, or you can go into particular things like scenario-based ones, like there's been a storm or there's been a plague, and you can pick that on, and the game evolves based on your decisions. Now, that's on that. In 100 years' time, 100 years ago, there was no way of playing that game because computers didn't exist. They wasn't even thought of as a thing, as in like playing computer games on them. And the graphics on that are so good. Sometimes it's like, God, it's like watching TV. 100 years from now, who's to say that we can't have sentience within a game?
Well, if it's all a game, why have you got global warming?
It might just be a side effect of the program.
But if it's a simulation, it's not physically real, so anything that humans are doing shouldn't have a physical effects on the platform.
But it does. So, yeah, for example, another game that I've got there, Cities, it's called, or something, where you basically build a city. As the city grows, if you put like an industrial area near a residential area, if that industrial area gets bigger and bigger and bigger, eventually the people living in the city get sick because of the pollution, and you have to then build a hospital. And if you don't build a hospital, the people there die. And similarly, if there's like 5 lovely log cabins next to each other, if one goes up in flames, all 5 do because they're made of wood. So these impacts and decisions, like you have to build them separate from each other to stop the spread of fire. So this couldn't currently exist. This idea of choice and causation still now exists in computer games. Think about it like that. Don't wish to blow your mind, but you could just be a computer game.
No, I don't think I am.
Well, Elon Musk thinks he is.
I think he's wrong.
Well, he thinks you're wrong. And I wouldn't like to get into a fight with him. You heard what he was calling those Chilean miners that got trapped.
Are you confusing the Chilean miners with the Thai children who got stuck in the cave?
Yes, I am. Yes, I completely am. Thank you for that. I'll tell you what, it's a good job in this video game that they put you with me, isn't it? Otherwise I'd be walking around.
I know. Who did that? Nice one, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, so there you go. So a nice little delve into the way I think today.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm a simulation.
I think you are. Anyway, if you guys think Becca's
you just
a simulation...
think I am because you think I'm too good to be true.
You are too good to be true. Can't keep my eyes off of you. Okay, guys, this has been We Don't Need to Talk About Ghosts. Sorry if this went on a bit, but I found the subject really interesting. And I've got a very dull voice when I find things that interesting. I'm trying to convince people such as Becca about that we're living in a multiverse. Okay, so we'll be back on Friday for our delivery route. It's Becca's birthday, isn't it? Coming on.
Yeah.
So on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So when you hear us on Sunday, we'll find out if I've done a good job or not.
Yeah, and I will be honest, guys. Don't worry.
And we're all looking forward to that. So in the meantime, we shall see you Friday to deliver the goods. Tatty bye.
Bye, guys.